It's February. Let's start reading romance books. I have just started a romance book today and I have started Love of My Afterlife. I'm 40 pages in and I'm really enjoying it. So this one is someone dies and when she gets to the afterlife she bumps into somebody and there's a spark between them, this chemistry that she has to know who he is. But then he gets sent back to Earth because it's not his time to die yet. So she gets sent back to Earth, she has 10 days sent back to the land of the living and she has to make him fall in love with her and he has to kiss her of his own free will. But he doesn't remember her. He doesn't remember their encounter in the afterlife because you can't know that if you're going back to Earth. So yeah, it's very whimsical right now and it's cute and I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna read some more later on, but I'm really enjoying it. It's really adorable. I'm loving this book so much and it's just so good. I'm at chapter 18, page 136. It's honestly so good. I'm really enjoying it. I've got sprayed edges version as well, which is so cute. I've got this in the works and I'm really enjoying it. It's proper cozy and cutesy and I feel like I know, well, I'm hoping the plot is going a certain way that I'm thinking it is and it's so adorable. I'm truly loving it so much. I'm finding it, honestly, it's so cute. Definitely what I needed. It's definitely what I was looking for. Something whimsical and romantic. I finished the book, guys. I finished the book. I just finished it now. I finished Loads in the Train as well and I really bloody enjoyed this. I don't want to like give too much away, but this book, the back of it is really like the beginning of the story and then it like the twists and turns it goes down are so good. This book really is about somebody who has not lived her life to the fullest, dying and going to the afterlife and being given a chance at another life if she meets the guy she met in the afterlife who's been sent back to Earth. If she can meet him in 10 days and make him fall in love with her and kiss her, she can stay on Earth. And we see her really trying to like live her life and do everything she can because really for all the years that she has been alive she's really not lived her life. She doesn't have many friends, she's very snappy to people and she tends to just stay on her own as like a lone wolf because of how she was treated as a kid. Like she was bullied a lot, so she just became kind of this like recluse and you watch this girl Delphi really expand on her friendships and you see her like make the most out of life and you watch as she falls in love and it's beautiful. It's so good. It is a happy ending, so if you wanted to read this and you're worried because like you didn't know if it's gonna be a happy ending or not, it is a happy ever after ending and it is so good. I really loved it and I loved Kirsty Greenwood's style of writing. I thought it was amazing. I ended up giving this book a 4.5, but I can't say too much about this because like there's so many plot twists, so if I go into the plot line you'll know the plot twists, but it's not what I was expecting. It's very funny, light-hearted, very whimsical, a very charming book and it was just so much fun. Really enjoyed it. I have put Falling for Gage in the flat to read when I go back tonight. However, I want to read something on the train for a bit, so I'm just looking through what I've got. I did say I wanted to read a romance, so I'm trying to see if I've got any other romances here. I have got one that Sam really wants me to read because he bought me it like a few years ago. Do I read it? I don't know if it's a romance or not. It's called The Dead Romantics and Sam really wants me to read it, so this is The Dead Romantic and it's got a total of 344 pages. That's really not bad. It's got a lovely flop to it. Like, look, that's nice. And it's like a nice waxy finish, the book. So Dead Romantics, it says this is about a girl called Florence. Florence is a ghostwriter with one big problem. She's supposed to be penning swoon-worthy novels for a famous romantic author, but after a bad breakup, Florence no longer believes in love. Her strict new editor Benji Andor refuses to give her an extension on her book deadline. Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. Tragedy strikes and Florence has to head home. The last thing she expects to see is a ghost at her front door. Not just any ghost, however, but the stern form of her still very hot, yet now unquestionably dead new editor. As sparks fly between them, Florence tells herself she can't be falling for a ghost, even an infuriatingly sexy one. But can Benji help Florence to realise love isn't dead after all. It says on the back it's a truly a rom-com to die for, and a fun, smart, quick, delicious book, and it's an absolute delight. I wanted to read this. I have read one book by Ashley Poston before. I really did enjoy it. I think I'm gonna give this one a go. Sam's gonna be so happy that I read this. I'm hoping it's a happy ever after, because I really like whimsical stuff right now. I'm really enjoying the romances that are not too serious. Because it's February and it's the month of love. I'm gonna try this one out. I really just want to chat with you real quick as I'm driving back home before I get my train back to uni. I am so sweaty. I don't even know why. My makeup's like iffy. And like, it's so strange because in certain lightings I'm loving my makeup, but right now, I don't know, it's just like, it's not sitting right on my face. I just wanted to speak more about the whole, the book that I finished, Love of My Afterlife. It was so good, like so good. I don't think I've actually had that much fun with a book this year, and I have read, I think that will be my 8th book this year, I'm pretty sure, and that was like the most fun I've had this year with a book. Like, I don't remember reading a book that's like that whimsical and witty and funny. Like, I read a lot of serious books, I read a lot of historical fictions and dark books and deep stuff, thrillers, but this one was so whimsical. And I want to talk about the romance real quick because it is February, it is Valentine's month. I want to talk real quick about the romance in it. It was just so good. I thought the way it was written was adorable, but not in like a sickly sweet way, and there was spice in the book as well, so if you want something without spice, this one does have a bit of spice, not crazy amounts though. I just want to say the sunset's really pretty behind me. Like, oh, this is the one that I miss about coming home sometimes when I'm at uni, is the sunset here is just so pretty because I live so close to the coast. But yes, the romance was brilliant. I liked the male main character. He was so cute and adorable, and he was a character that you got to know more about him throughout the book. So like, you go from knowing him a little bit and thinking like, oh, he's an annoying person, or you go from the start having like preconceived expectations on him, and then by the end you just know so much about him, and you know him inside and out, because you're getting to know him as our female main character's getting to know him, which I loved. When I had that last few pages left, I checked and I was like, oh my god, I've got 2 pages left. 2 pages, is that it? I was really sad, but I really enjoyed it and I had so much fun. It was a happily ever after book, and I had so much fun. I have started The Dead Romantics, by the way, and I'm enjoying it so far. So like, I was kind of under the impression that it was an autumnal book, but right now it's set in April, so springtime. I'm enjoying it so far. It's decent. We've met the male main character spoken about on the back, the new editor, and we've kind of like got the scene set. Our main character, our female main character, doesn't believe in love anymore, doesn't believe in romances, she doesn't want to write another one. She's a ghostwriter for somebody basically, and he doesn't know that she is a ghostwriter. She thinks that she's the assistant and that the author is the real writer, which we know is not the real writer. We know it's our female main character. So they've got this like standoffish relationship right now where they really don't like each other, and it's really funny, but I think it's going to be like enemies to lovers, frenemies to lovers. So, a little confession, I did go to the works quickly on my way to Morrison's to pick up my prescription, and I got a foxglove. I said I was going to get it. In the works it's 10 quid, but in Waterstones it's 10 quid, but in the works it's £3.50, and I was going to get it online, but I know me, because I want to get free shipping, I just like buy loads of random crap and just loads of books that I don't really care about. I'm happy about it was £3.50, and I'm so excited to read it. I'm really enjoying the whole Belladonna series. I know it's a 3-part book series, so this is the second one I'm really excited for. It has been a couple of days and I have started The Dead Romantics. I'm actually almost halfway through, and I've got some opinions. I've been doing some sticky notes so that I can actually talk to you about what I've been thinking throughout this book. I am at page 200 now, 201, and this book is, well, let's just talk through the sticky notes because that'll explain my thoughts and opinions. The first note I've got was at page 75. So I put here long time setting the scene and plotline. So it has taken at this point it had taken 75 pages to even get to the point of our main character's editor, which we already know about on the back, Ben,
finding out that he's dead. So we know this happens, and it says at the back how he's dead, and it takes us 75 pages to find that out. Like, Jesus. So that's how we find this out. I thought that the story was going to pick up at this point and we were really going to get into it. We didn't. It's then took like another 20 pages to even see him again and really start to try and get his plot line. I want to explain this without giving too much detail away. He's dead. He is her editor, and she can see ghosts. Her family's always worked as in like a, what's it called, like a mortuary or like a funeral parlor. They've always done that, and they've been known for doing that. And she can see ghosts, and she sees him, and she's like, am I hallucinating? Like, I saw him literally like yesterday. There's no way he's dead. Well, then we find out he is dead, which we already know from the back of the book. He's confused, she's confused, and we're trying to figure out why he's there as a ghost, because the ghosts only appear as ghosts, these dead people, when they have like unfinished business or something they've got left to do. I mean, we still haven't uncovered what his reason is, and I'm at page 200. We don't really go into like her trying to find out why he is here or anything. That's not the main plot, which I found really strange, because the back of the book makes out that him and her are the main plot of the story. But really, the main plot of the story is that somebody in Florence's family has died, and she and the rest of her family are trying to come up with a funeral for this member of their family and follow through with all his things that he wanted to happen that were on his will. That's the main plot, and Florence trying to come to terms with it. We've also got a plot line of the fact that her ex-partner was somebody who really just used her, and she's like now affected by that because she doesn't believe in love anymore, so she's struggling to write a romance book. And it just feels a little bit all over the place. Like, I'm at page 200, I don't quite see a definitive plot line. Like, there's no straight line to whatever is meant to be the ending, and I'm over halfway through. Like, this is where I'm at. So it just feels a bit strange that everything's still a bit all over the place. Like, you'd think that they would have narrowed it down by now to actually have like a straight plot line. We got to page 102. This book is like advertised as a romance, and people online say it's a romance and everything, and obviously, as I said, it was advertised as a romance, so you expect there to be some romance. We're at page 102, and I've just literally written, I'm starting to get bored, where is the romance? There was absolutely nothing at page 102. Like, we're 100 pages into a 350-ish page book, and there's no romance. See what I mean? Like, it's missing what it needs. And then my last sticky note is at page 201, and I've just put, I'm starting to get really bored. Pacing is so slow, and romance is practically non-existent. Ugh. It really is. And there's like flirty moments between them, but it doesn't make sense because all that's happened before this point is that they've kissed once when he was alive, which was like at page 40 or something. But it was kind of just like a spur of the moment in like a back alley, because like, you know, like the kind of kisses you do in like a nightclub at the spur of the moment, but it doesn't really mean anything. It was that. So it doesn't really make sense for them to have any romantic chemistry right now anyway. And there's flirty moments, and there was a moment in it where he basically ended up walking in on her because he's a ghost, he just appears. He walked in on her and she wasn't wearing anything, and she was like, oh my god, and he was like, oh my god, and it was like a funny moment. But his reaction, like he like complimented how she looked, that was just like really weird to me, since seeing as though they had no romantic connection before anything happened and before he died. It was just very strange, and I just feel like it's very unfinished right now. Everything feels really unfinished. I mean, Florence's character is the only character I really understand, Florence and Alice, I'd say. I think also the plot line of her trying to write this manuscript and not being able to is getting a bit tedious. Like, we're seeing little glimpses of what she's writing, and every time she ends up killing off the main character, and she's like, oh, I can't do that because it's into romance. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Why is this happening? Like, it's getting annoying. I don't know. Oh, hello, Charlie. Hey, Fluffy. It's me. Hello. Okay. Oh, my dog's partially blind. He's got one eye and he can't really see out of it. So you kind of have to like really wave for him to see you and like really talk to him. Otherwise he can't see. Hey honey. Like he can't get in the, from the garden he can't get in because he can't see the step to get in the house and he can't see the step to get out the house. So yeah, he's so cute, so adorable. He's a toy poodle, but he can't see.
I finished the book. I'm just gonna touch up my makeup right now, so I thought I'd just chat to you about the book. I did give this book a 3.5. This is the book, Dead Romantics, and I've got loads of post-it notes all over it to tell you my thoughts. I'm just heading out. When I tell you what I'm heading out for, you're gonna be like, why are you doing your makeup? I'm going out to just fill my car up. But I feel a bit like my makeup's a bit ugh. So a bit what's the word, oily. So I'm just fixing it up. Little Jack the Skeleton brushes. I'll say the book did start to pick up after this point, but you do need to know that this book is 345 pages long and it took until page 250 to really pick up. Okay, onto the post-it notes. The makeup is finished. Okay, the first one I've got is at page 203, and I've put, why is the chemistry being forced so much? So one of my pet peeves with this book was the romance. So this book is sold to us as a romance for some reason, and I don't know why. The romance really didn't happen. It wasn't initiated, if you know what I mean. Like, there was no spark, there was no thing that was like, oh, there's something between these two. It was kind of just expected that we just accept that these two all of a sudden have a romantic connection because he's a ghost and she is the only one who can see him. And as I told you, they'd had that kiss, but it was literally like a nightclub kiss. It was like a kiss that you just like do in the moment and it means nothing. So it made no sense for them to have this like connection like this when he was a ghost and everything, and she'd seen him as a ghost and not alive. Like, it was very strange to me. And at this point we were having scenes where Ben was really trying to comfort her and be there for her. I wasn't buying it. It just felt very forced, and I didn't believe anything I was being told, basically. Very strange. 1 to 100 on insulting her. I thought, oh, okay, so the family relationship was very strange in this book. So we are told that our main character, Florence, ended up running away because she was seen as like the Wednesday Addams of her community, and she was bullied for it. And so she left home and ran away, really, like, and just tried to start a new life in New York, away from everybody. However, if you witnessed your sibling go through this and they left your home because of it, you would feel some sort of guilt for them, you'd feel bad for them. But in this book, for some reason, the siblings, her 2 siblings she have, just hate her for it and do not see her side of anything, and it's so strange. But the one thing I had a real problem with was the sibling, what's his name? Carver. So Carver is her brother, and he's being all nice to her and everything and being understanding, and then all of a sudden he just blows up at her and insults her. And I just found it was really strange for like these characters did a lot of stuff that was very out of character often. Oh, I dropped my post-it note. And the last post-it note I've got in the book is one at page 240. So this one was about one of the bullies. So as I said, she was bullied as a kid and everything, bullied in high school, and one of her bullies shows up in the book, and she's very horrible. She's got a whole book club that's still like kind of like her bully posse that she had in high school, and she's still quite mean to our main character, Florence, and she isn't kind at all. Like, she's a proper horrible person. And all of a sudden, I'm not even kidding, like 20 pages later, maximum 20 pages later, could have been 10, she's all of a sudden being really nice to Florence. So we just saw that this girl clearly hadn't changed 2 chapters ago. Why on earth would she have changed now and been all nice to Florence? It made no sense. It was completely out of the blue and completely out of character. But this is a problem I had regularly in this book, was that the characters
did so many things that were out of character. Like, it was really annoying. So, overall thoughts and opinions. I've got 2 post-it notes. So I've written here, it was very underwhelming storyline. Only interesting section was the end 150 pages, which is where we really got to see the friendship and relationship and just what was happening between Ben and Florence. Not a romance-driven plot line, even though on the back it's driven as it's displayed as a romance plot line. It's not. It very much goes off on every other tangent it can until the last 100 pages. Overall, gave this book a 3.5, as I said. I thought the prose was, it was a good concept. I did love the idea of like this girl who could speak to ghosts and the only one who could see them and all this stuff. I loved the idea. I thought the ghosts and seeing the dead and everything was a great concept and a great thing to have in a book. I love the supernatural stuff. However, it was executed so poorly. The cons, I've said that it was very underdeveloped plot. It had very underdeveloped plot lines all throughout this book. None of the plot lines really had a beginning and an end, really. They just fizzled. Also, the writing of the plot was weak. By this I mean there were so many like other plots that we found out about, like things that happened in the past, and they were just kind of skimmed over. You never really got to hear about the details in these stories. I think if you're talking about the past and you're talking about like events which are going to be important now, there has to be some detail. There has to be something that we're going to understand and we're going to take something from. Nothing was told to us in detail about these flashbacks. Very underwhelming. And the final thing I wrote was slow pacing, very slow pacing. I mean, it took us 75 pages to even see Ben as a ghost. It was so strange. Very underwhelming book. I gave it a 3.5 stars, honestly, because the only character that was likeable was Ben, but overall just thought the writing was very poor and I did not like. So I'm probably gonna put this book on my Vinted to sell, I'm thinking, because I don't really keep books that I don't like, and if someone else can enjoy this, which taking all sticky notes off, then I would love for someone else to have this book. I do put loads on my Vinted, loads of books, so if you want like books for literally like £2, I sell them on my Vinted, which I will link down below. And I think I cracked this phone once, but you can't even see it, look. I did end up reading Leather and Lark last night and today, and I finished it today. Really did enjoy it. I didn't like it. So for a start, I ended up rating it a 2.5 star. I know, that's a really low rating. But here, the plotline was completely like so weak compared to book one. The book one, the plotline was so in depth and so amazing and written so well. This one, it was so boring. There wasn't really a plot to it. Spice scenes, one after another. When we had our first spice scene, the next 3 chapters straight after this scene had spice scenes in them that were really in depth and just not impressive. Got a bit boring basically. The ending was very rushed. Like the end, like big thing that happened really got fixed within about 5 pages. I just felt like for a whole book that's like hyped this thing up, for it to be fixed in like 5 pages was ridiculous and so underwhelming. Boring reveal of so in this book we've got somebody who's after Lark's family, and in the first book when we had like the bad guy in the book, because that's like the premise of these books, is always like a guy that's after them or a person that's after them, and the bad guy in the first book, it was such like a shock and it was like, oh my god. In this book it was like, who is this person? I don't even know who this person is. Like, what? Very boring. Very much relied on the first book a lot though for this book in general. Like a lot of the plot lines, a lot of the characters were like the 2 main characters in the first book were the main enjoyable plot in this book. It was just, there's a lot that wasn't great about this book. It was very bland. I'd never heard of the bad guy much. Throughout the book we really only got 2. There was really only 2 chapters where we got his perspective, which was very disappointing and just massively underwhelming. And then I said that because of this, I forgot about the bad guy until the end, and he came back and I was like, who are you? Like, it was so random. Whereas in the first book, the bad guy was like throughout the book, he's constantly like trying to get Sloane and Rowan. Whereas in this book, the bad guy kind of just fizzles out. He doesn't really appear until the end. What exactly did you do really throughout this book? What did you end up doing? Because it really wasn't much. I was so annoyed because this year I've been like, oh, quality over quantity, and then the last 2 books I've read have just been so meh. It's really annoying because I was really enjoying reading and then this has happened and I'm like, I was really trying to do quality over quantity this year, and unfortunately my last 2 books were not books that I enjoyed, but I did read them because I thought I would enjoy them, so it's not my fault I didn't know that they were going to be bad books. The end of the video though, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I read quite a few romances this video. I'm just looking through, and we read Love of My Afterlife, which was amazing. I really loved that book. It was so good. Whimsical. I really enjoyed it. Then we had Dead Romantics, which was okay. Not the best, but I enjoyed the concept. And then finally, we had Leather and Lark. Really bad book. Didn't enjoy it. But yes, that's my video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a really good Valentine's coming up. I will be doing I don't know if it's already up or not by now, I will be doing a recommendation of romance books that I personally love and I think you should read for Valentine's. Probably will already be up, I'm guessing, but I'm not too sure. But yes, I will see you guys soon with another video. Subscribe, like, and do that stuff, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. Bye!